The picturesque Vermont hill town of Weston, home to the well-known Weston Playhouse Theater, will be holding its traditional town meeting along with the rest of the state on Tuesday, March 6th. Like many small rural communities, Weston does it the old-fashioned way, with a floor meeting where articles on the warning are discussed and voted on. Voting on the Taconic and Green Regional School District budget will be voted on by Australian ballot across the town green at the small white building that serves as the town hall. Along with electing a range of town officials, from the select board to listers to a school board director to a trustee of public funds and a couple of cemetery commissioners, voters will also be asked to approve a town budget of nearly $500,000 and a highway fund expenditure of about $831,000. Two members of the town select board, Vice Chairman Jim Linville and Charles Goodwin, spoke about the upcoming town meeting and what they were anticipating. One article in the warning that's new this year is one that will be up for discussion at several area town meetings that concerns climate change and urges local municipalities to promote renewable energy and commits them to protecting town lands from fossil fuel infrastructure and boosting efforts at weatherizing buildings, among other measures.
We received a petition a month or two ago, and I have no comment on the petition. The petition was signed by the requisite number of people, and asking us to include it in the agenda of the town meeting, and we did what we're required to do, which is include it in the town meeting. So
it does not involve money.
It does not involve money.
Then it was on to a discussion of the town budget, which voters will discuss and decide on the floor.
I think the budget's really close to historical budget, but there's some, particularly in town general, I think there was some surplus that knocks down that leaves us with a lower tax rate, a lower total municipal tax rate than we had last year, which is a good thing. Highways up a bit. I think highways up maybe like 2 cents, and town general's down.
One issue that prompted some discussion at one of their recent select board meetings was on the topic of financial requests from area organizations. Some thoughts were raised that perhaps these special financial distributions should be limited to organizations based in Weston.
The thinking is evolving, but you would have to look at the warning very carefully to see how that evolution is taking place. Basically, we have 4 categories of appropriations that are requested. The first is a bunch of local organizations that ordinarily would be included, or in many towns would be included in the town budget, which would include our parks, the cemeteries, and the volunteer fire department. Those are in Weston. Weston's a little unique that way. These are our local volunteer organizations that raise money privately, and they also request money from the town. The second category is organizations that serve Weston, but in an indirect way, and have required them to have to submit financials and some writing about what benefits they provide to Weston, and we're tightening that up a little bit for next year, but that group is voted on individually, even though the list is presented as a single list, but the moderator in that case will go through each item individually, and if there's discussion on that particular line item, then that goes ahead and it can be changed or not. The third group are entities that everyone knows around here but aren't located in Weston, like the Londonderry Rescue Squad, the Mountain Valley Medical Clinic, that serve this community extraordinarily well, and who get a lot of private support and I'm sure state support, but are happy to have some municipal support as well. And then the last group are entities that we present as separate articles in the warning because we haven't considered them before, and they may wind up in that second group, or whatever the appropriate group is, depending on how people feel about it and how the voting goes.
Part of the issue stems from trying to secure a representative cross-section of the community to show up at the annual town meeting.
As you well know, it's a concern, I think, all over the state of Vermont, depending largely probably on the size of towns, whether or not the traditional town meeting furnishes everybody equal opportunity to vote on the matters that are going on with town government. And so that's something certainly that the select board bears in mind. I think that one way or the other, I'd say our approach is perhaps changed a little bit, because I think one way or the other we'll try to get broader legal voter input on what they think about that issue. Everybody might be happy, and everybody's happy, then we're happy. If people think that perhaps there could be some changes made that would enable better function of democracy, then we will. Well, the first thing we do, I think, is go to them and say, "How would you suggest we do it?" Because that might be a good place to start.
Another issue is just getting the town report. Should it continue to be mailed out to every post box, or are there new ways of getting that information into the hands of voters?
Awful lot of paper, and it ends up all over the place, and some of it gets held onto and is brought to town meeting by voters. But we're trying to we want to make sure that everybody's happy about their access to the town report, and if they don't even own a computer, to be sure that one becomes available to them in their house through the mail. But on the other hand, if we could save some money and some paper and some trees by doing some things electronically and not sending out a surplus of them, we would like to move in that direction. And that may get some discussion, because that would be a change from what's happened in the past.
Weston's floor meeting will start at 9 a.m. in the Weston Playhouse on Tuesday, March 6th. For the GNet TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.